you're the ideal candidate, to have the expertise to bring Singapore out, let's say, as an economic program. What are your comments on that? And secondly, earlier just now you said that you plan to raise issues formally and informally. So how do you plan to raise those issues formally and informally? Could you elaborate more?
I'm, of course, very grateful for Prime Minister Hsien Loong's comments and his personal endorsement of my candidacy for the presidency. But I'm running in this election as an independent candidate. I do not have the backing of any political party, neither am I seeking the backing of any party. But of course, as a candidate, I welcome support from everyone. And I'm very grateful for this support because I think that this is an encouragement to my campaign. And therefore, as I said, I'm grateful to the Prime Minister for endorsing me again for my candidacy. And I'm grateful to all the other people who have endorsed me for my candidacy. The other question as to how I plan to raise issues formally or informally through the channels. How I will raise the issues depends on what are the issues and what are the circumstances. The President has limited executive power except those which are clearly spelled out in the Constitution, custodian of the reserves, protection of our public servants, or protection of the integrity of our public service. But the President has access to the Prime Minister, to the ministers. He meets with the PM and the ministers regularly. He has access to all cabinet papers. He is kept informed. And I think during meetings with the PM and the ministers, he can put forward his views on what are the concerns of the people on government policies, of course recognizing that it is the Prime Minister and the Cabinet which has to make the decisions. But the President can be a voice to offer his own views on important issues which affect Singapore and Singaporeans. Publicly, I think the President can do a great deal in the area of social harmony and community bonding through the causes which he champions. He can raise social awareness. We live in a very fortunate country today, built up by hard work and kept together through strenuous effort. Our peaceful, multiracial, multicultural society is very rare. And you look at all the countries around us, this has to be kept up. The President can play a very important role in this, in working with groups of all sectors of society, of all faiths, of all races, in order to promote social harmony and to bind our community together. Furthermore, to make Singapore more vibrant, more interesting, a better place to live in, the President can champion artistic activities, cultural activities, sporting activities. These are all important. It adds to the richness of life in Singapore. It makes the lives of our people, parents, adults, young people, children, more vibrant, more alive. It enriches their life. I think this is a good thing, and as President, I will seek to do my best and work hard at this, partly because it is important, but also partly of my deep interest in these areas, in culture, in artistic activities, and in charitable causes. And in the course of this campaign, I've had the opportunity to meet with a wide variety of people, from the people in the hawker stores, market streets, to artists. I was at the Red Dot Museum a couple of weeks ago, meeting with illustrators. I think that they play an important role in Singapore. They make our lives richer. Charitable causes is something which I particularly would like to champion. The government has done a great deal in order to provide a social safety net to help those who are in need. The Prime Minister has said in his National Day rally that the government is seeking to strengthen these nets. But however much the government does, there will be some groups of people who fall between the cracks. And these people need help. These may not be, in a sense, what I might call high-profile charities. They may be simple charities. Straits Times Pocket Money Fund is a good example. Raise money, help children. $2, $3 a day makes all the difference so that a child can buy something at recess. Doesn't need to go hungry. Old Folks Home, I've had a long association, over 30 years, with two old folks home in Sembawang, the Sri Nara Mission for the Aged Sick and the Swami Home. There is a great need for them because our society is aging. Sometimes children find it difficult to look after their aged relatives, parents at home, and they need help. And even lately, I've become the first patron of the Dover Park Hospice to help people in the terminal stages of their lives. These are not glamorous activities, but they are needed, as well as the ones which are more prominent, helping people with illnesses, helping people in financial need. And I think that this is where we have to look and see where do people need help. And today, it's not only the ones who are clearly disadvantaged who need assistance. Even people who may be regarded as middle class also have areas of particular need. And I think the President can serve to highlight all these areas and help the community organizations to mount their effort to meet them, even in a simple thing like encouraging neighborliness, friendship between people who live in flats, in HDB blocks, to get to know each other, organize functions for their children. So there are many of these areas where the presence of the President can highlight these areas, make Singaporeans more aware of them, galvanize more volunteers to come and take part and make a contribution, each in his own way, so that we'll have a more compassionate, more caring, more fairer society. We should have a place for everyone, no matter what is your social level, no matter what is your ability. You are Singaporean. This is our home. You have a place in Singapore.
Just time for one last question.
One last question?
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's a group waiting downstairs.
I'm told that I have time for one last question, and I have to meet. One last question, please.
I'm from today's newspaper. Just referring to your list of the senators that you were giving out earlier, there's Ms. Oliver Loong and Dr. Joseph Schultz. Would you like to maybe comment on this and what does this indicate? Because they're pretty high profile people in your list down here.
I am very grateful for the 10 people who have come forward to be my proposer, Mr. Chua Tian Po, my seconder, Dr. Alino, and then the 8 centers. They come from various walks of life, some in business, some in the professions. They come from all racial groups. And I think that, in a sense, they are a representative sample of what constitutes Singapore. I must say that I'm very heartened by the fact that I had no difficulty in persuading them to be a proposer, seconder, or the assenter. When I asked them, they all agreed immediately, and that's a strong encouragement. I hope that the list of people whom I've put forward as my proposer, seconder, and assenters demonstrates the variety of people in Singapore across professions, across racial lines, and across faiths. And I think that this is a good thing. Last question? Sure.
Dr. Chan, can you just give us share some of your campaign plans aside from the campaign video? How else do you plan to reach out to the voters?
Well, I'll be doing many things. First of all, I'll be visiting a lot of places, hawker centers and markets. I'll continue to meet with various groups of people with regard to their interests. I'll be taking part in a number of forums, for example, like the Straits Times joint interview, and there's one coming up hosted by MediaCorp. There will be others. The President has to try and convey his views and to reach out to all Singaporeans, 2.27 million people of them, and he has to find ways in order to give meaningful expression to these areas in many settings. And this is what I hope to do, also through the video, through Facebook, through my website, through the media. I hope to reach out to every Singaporean, in a sense, so that to try and build a bond with each Singaporean and to get to know what is his or her concern. I've been very heartened by my visits the last 1.5 months. I continue to do this vigorously.